call on Adam Langleben to ask a question.
Thank you very much. My name is Adam Langleben. I work for the JLC and also a councillor in Barnet. Do you think the boycott, divestment and sanction movement against Israel contributes or disrupts the Middle East peace process, and specifically in the context of the London economy?
Okay, so does the BDS movement against Israel disrupt or contribute to the peace process in the Middle East? Start, John.
I think we have to take each, I think there are huge double standards in the BDS movement. Some regimes are let off, others aren't. It needs to be taken on a case-by-case basis. I will be completely honest, I don't know enough about the Middle East peace process to give you an answer to that. I can't, I think it's quite a black and white answer that you're looking for, a yes or a no. I can't give you that. But what I do feel we have to do is stand up for human rights and stand against human rights violations wherever we see them. Sometimes boycott and disinvestment is appropriate, sometimes it isn't. I think it gets it wrong sometimes, it gets it right sometimes. I can't give you a more equivocal yes or no answer. Maybe some of the other candidates can on that. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. Carol, let's come back to you.
Yeah, I think it does damage the Middle East peace process, and I don't back BDS at all. I think, of course there may be some things that we might want to criticise the Israeli government on, but quite frankly boycotts don't achieve anything, and actually there are things I would absolutely criticise other regimes on, whether it's China and the issue of Tibet, Morocco and South Sudan, the Turkish invasion of North Cyprus. There are many areas of the world, but if we boycotted everyone, that wouldn't achieve anything. I really believe in contact, dialogue, proper diplomacy, so we can actually get peace in these situations, and I think that's the right way forward.
Thank you very much.
If I say that, I agree with what Caroline said. Look, as the Mayor, I don't intend to give a running commentary on the Middle East peace process, but BDS doesn't work. I mean, if you look at the impact on SodaStream, the most recent example, who were affected by boycotts, divestment and sanctions in relation to the most recent example. So I'm not in favour of BDS. I think the role of the Mayor is not to give a running commentary on the Middle East peace process. I'll talk about the importance of language and the impact of the Middle East in tensions here in London. But I think it is important in relation to trade to be talking about Tel Aviv and the role it plays in the tech sector. I'm the most pro-business mayor London's ever had. I want London to take over New York and San Francisco. That means going to Tel Aviv in relation to tech. That means going there to get the talent from there to come to our country. That's how I lead by example.
No, I don't support the BDS. Clearly, I don't trust the movement either. It is, look, anyone can criticise any government. I'm a Conservative Member of Parliament. I'm often critical of the Conservative government. That's my right, it's my duty to represent my constituents and hold my party to account when I think they've got it wrong. Equally, there's all kinds of reasons for being critical of different government administrations in Israel. There's nothing wrong with that. But the vehemence with which the BDS campaigners devote their lives to attacking Israel, I find suspicious, which is why I've always believed it is cover for something else. And I don't just believe that, I believe I know that from my experience of dealing with people who are so vehement in their hatred of Israel. And I've never been able to understand that. Israel is the only proper democracy in that part of the world. It lights a little light in a very, very dark part of our world, and I think that is something that we should absolutely cherish. I don't know Israel that well. My grandfather founded the King David Hotel, and that's as deep as my claim goes. I went there recently on my first trip about a year ago, and I just remember stepping into a small hotel in Tel Aviv, and not really know much about the hotel, and I was surrounded by all these women, and I was the only man there, and I thought there was something odd happening here. And I discovered after about 5 minutes that in fact my wife was the only woman, and it was a transvestite night. Where else in the Middle East would there even be a possibility? It is an extraordinary thing, a dynamic one. Yes, there are all kinds of business reasons for us wanting to improve our ties to Tel Aviv, of course, that goes without saying, but there is much, much more to it than that in my view.
Yes, actually, you know, you were talking about being pansexual the other day as well, weren't you? No, we'll have a drink after. Speaking of crossing the floor, speaking of that, I just want to add one thing. I'm a staunch supporter of Israel without any mitigation on that. Staunch, because I see it as being on the front line. And quite right what Zach has just said, it is the only true democracy, and actually while we're talking about personal matters, it is the only place in that part of the world where I could go on a gay pride march if I wanted to. The only, it's astonishing. And I think that this actually somehow brings out kind of peaked anger in the people that we're talking about. All kind of boycotts are wrong. Would never ever support this. And simply as well when it goes for academic boycotts, the whole university movement, you know, the artistic movement, we've seen that up in various, I think in the Edinburgh Festival, I don't need to malign it, I think it was that, where in fact, you know, certain orchestras were not going to be allowed because they were from Israel. This is outrageous. This is outrageous, and it would not even be tolerated or thought about if it were for any other group.
We could discuss anti-Semitism and BDS all night, but there are other questions and other topics, so in the interest